Excellent, and welcome to Truth in Telecoms. It's been a while since we've had Johnny on, so I'm expecting a torrent of information to come out. So, Johnny, how are you?
Well, first of all, congratulations on the greatest TADSummit ever.
Thank you.
And over 55,000 views on all our people.
Yep.
And look, this is the big day. I think, I'm dressed up. Brendan Carr, welcome. I think he's going to be the most consequential seat chairman in the history of the FCC. I think, I've been watching him and listening to the longest time. I mean, TikTok. I mean, look at TikTok. Even the CEO of TikTok reached out to Elon Musk, like, can you help me?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because there's no stopping this guy, Brendan
Yes.
Carr.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
they nominated him. He has a mission. He has and look, Brendan, at the end of the day, because we're talking to you, you're being lied to. The FCC is being lied to. And it was just proven.
Yeah.
And it was proven on the world's biggest hack ever, or the USA biggest hack. Yeah. Why was it the biggest hack? Why? Why did Senator Warner, the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, come out and say it's the biggest hack ever? Nothing's even close. Nothing anywhere else. Because they're listening to them now.
Yeah.
So every week, Polisi puts out how many hacks come out. Alex from UMail. He's like the hack reporter. Yesterday, you got the one with the big banking industry and,
yes.
$400 million a day being stolen from people in the U.S. And I don't even know what the real numbers are and how much money is being defrauded by people, right?
It's just crazy.
But now it's the world's biggest hack because, look, they listen into the new president and his family's phone calls.
Yes.
He's not said nothing about it yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Other than his daughter basically saying, would you give up your iPhone for an X phone? So shows you where that's going.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll see.
So, look, it's not a matter of we'll see or not. It's a new reality. And, the world is under attack. And we've been saying this, you and I, for a year. There's a reason why, look, the best thing about the Mobile Ecosystem Forum is their name, because that's exactly what it is. It's an ecosystem, Brendan. And you have to understand something. They brought in the 3 CEOs, the mobile operators, to the White House. What do they know? Yeah. They don't know anything. They know their earnings. They know how many subscribers they added. They have no idea. They don't even know where the hack comes from. It can come from 100 points of failure. But they talked about the connectivity layers, the voice, the messaging, which we'll get into. That's all of the players and mostly European. And I'm not saying none of them are bad, nefarious. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, look, they're compromised. Exactly. Everybody wants that China money. At the end of the day, especially messaging. I remember when Thorsten went there a few years ago. He went to China. He loved it because they had all kinds of cameras and he loves that stuff. And, he's like, oh, you'll never take on China because they got the rare minerals. So I'm like, okay. There's going to be no decoupling between China and the USA. They can't. Yeah. Right? They're going to coexist. I mean, today, he tried to hit him with a new president's going to hit him with 25% tariffs. And Mexico and Canada. I don't even know how Canada got involved in the situation. I don't even know what they do.
Importer, so Mexico, China.
But Canada, when did they get on that list? So look, I think we're living in some of the craziest times, and you have some of the brightest people on earth. I mean, as you know, I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk. I don't know how anybody cannot appreciate what this man has created across the board. There's no argument, whether you agree with him or not. So there's so many things on the table here. And look, I defer to Czar. As well, Eric Troutman, when he talks about Brendan Carr, because obviously I don't think he agrees with him too much politically, but he agrees with a lot of his platform. Yeah. Obviously, Czar doesn't want them to go after robocalling and spam text, which, quite frankly, guys, if Elon Musk wanted to solve it, he would. And he could. And this could be solved. But there's too much money being made in the ecosystem.
That's the problem.
There's too much money being made off fraud. Look, I put that post out. Brendan, I just want to I put that post about Alan trying to make peace with the Mobile Ecosystem Forum and the other groups. And look, Alan, it's not really about the people in charge. It's about the companies and the employees. You guys need to understand something. We want you all to have jobs. We want you all to work. We care about everybody being employed. We care about the ecosystem. But, there comes a point in time where you got to realize that there's a level of responsibility here. This is communications.
Exactly.
You're talking about, the mobile phone has become the most important item in anybody's house. Full
Yes.
stop.
Yeah.
Everything is done there. They're going to go after the social media companies. They're going to do all this. But what about when wait, guys, wait till Elon and the new president find out about RCS. First of all, RCS, Google has already put their platform up for sale. Breaking news.
Now, when
They've
was that?
already,
That
they've
gossip?
already,
Or?
listen, guys, Brendan, you got to understand something. We had 50,000 views on our podcast. Between Alan and I, we have tens of thousands of people feeding us information. We're not the smartest guys in a room. We're just, we get all the information. I got to smack people from shutting up. I'm like, AIT, that was 2 weeks ago. Wait, we'll get back to it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I got a lot of, I got some hunting to do in Germany coming up very soon. So we'll get into AIT and we'll get into that. But look, Brendan, you have to understand something. The whole ecosystem scam, likely this labeling, that labeling,
Yeah.
trace back what? Trace back what? Some guy trying to sell somebody a mortgage? It's all coming from overseas. I mean, the phishing attack. I mean, Michael Bordas from Cineverse, he put out a post yesterday with some of these new social engineering things. And here's a guy who cares. He cares as much as I'm not a fan of Cineverse ownership. He cares. But look, Cineverse has been beaten the ground. Why? Because the private equity group hasn't invested in it in a decade. They took all the money from Twilio, and all Twilio got was DEI and ESG in Tampa, which is the funniest thing in the world. But these guys care. Guys like Mike Rudolph from UML, Alex, so many. Chris Drake.
Yeah.
The TV star there from iConnective. By the way, I donated. I put an offer in today. You didn't mention it.
Oh, for the campaign register.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I understand something. Tata, all your buyers went away. I don't want to divert. I'll get back to the offer and I'll get back to that. But look, meth members, meth people, I tried to call an intervention with Alan. Alan's his own man. Alan's been around for a decade. I met him and he was kind enough to we started a podcast together. We started an innovative podcast together and it's just taken off. There's just nothing like TADSummit anywhere, any place. And it's needed. People need to talk. We get our information. People need to tell the truth.
Exactly. Honesty and integrity.
Look, yeah, honesty, integrity, or at least be able to point it out, right?
Yeah.
So nobody may be liking your stuff, but they're all watching. Everybody's
We're doing
watching.
well on our likes. We get likes 50 to 70.
I understand, but that's just on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is a make-believe world of I'll get out. Oh, I got an award. And by the way, I like awards because when I was a kid, I played sports and I wanted my trophy. Everybody wants their trophy. So I have an argument with the trophy givers. I think trophies are important. I think organizations are important. I think MEF is important in premise. I think CPAS-A, CCA, CTIA, although I think they're just an organization that's, I don't know what they do, protect the operators or whatever. And then GSMA. I mean, look, MEF went on a full attack on CTIA. We haven't talked about it. I went to the Vegas show. MEF put up their events right next to CTIA. So MEF came in there and attacked. What's their roster? China Mobile, TikTok, all the same. All of them, right? They're all there at the GSMA event. So everybody has jobs. And look, GSMA people, they couldn't be nicer people. I've never met an organization with nicer people, the way they handle this. I was there. Mr. Robert Wakeling was there from Widero, who I think had the most views with his game-changing technology. So, I can't even get him on the phone, and I'm his chief evangelist. He's so busy, with his products. But we have so many great innovators here at TADSummit. Brendan Carr, because I'm talking to you. We have the best of the best here. And most of our people are not inside the grift. And what I mean by the grift is the ecosystem that's been around for decades. They didn't have to worry about this decades with hard lines and everything else. Now it's just a new world, and the ecosystem is suspect. You've got as a voice and SMS point of failure. Now Infobit, Cineverse, Twilio telling Cineverse whatever they want to do, and they're just happy. Their stock's back up, like I said it would be. I told you it would more than double. I was right. I have not been wrong yet on a stock call, and they're still never going to make money. Twilio, you're still never going to make money. But it's okay. The hedge fund guys are in there. They're driving this thing up. It's being manipulated. And I said the same thing about Cinch. Cinch has 843 million outstanding shares. They can't go up. It's mathematically impossible.
Exactly.
But back to, we need to bring awareness that there is a mobile ecosystem, and it's at TADSummit because the people are here. The people who are willing to talk are here. Then they're bringing in CEOs to the at the White House. What do they know? They don't know anything. They know who their shareholders are. They know their earnings. They know their. I mean, we potentially could have the greatest short in telecom history within a year, depending upon the moves that Brendan Carr makes. Because Starlink is coming. Starlink is coming in. He's got phones. He's got robots. He's got neurosurgery. He's got, the guy's got everything, and looks like he's in charge. Not for nothing.
Oh yeah.
He's clearly in charge. So we're living in exciting times. But look, I just want to wish Brendan Carr the best of luck. But we're here, Brendan, and we started off with TCR Acquisition LLC, putting an offer in to the campaign registry. Why? Because it was foreign owned.
Yeah,
and it's not about me. I used to run Irish Wireless. Irish Wireless was one of the 3 hubs.
Yeah.
Who was our biggest hub for? China Mobile. So I knew all this, right? That's when China was in fashion. Everybody was, it didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, look, Elon's making his cars in China. Apple's making their phones in China. India, I don't know if you know this, 75% of all mobile phones in India are made in China, but yet they block TikTok, which is a whole nother social conversation.
Yeah.
So look, we have a global world that is now changing.
Yeah.
The landscape is changing, and there's a new administration here in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
And who knows what direction they're going to go? I'm sure Brendan knows more, but I tell you one thing: this hack has now lit a fire.
Oh yeah, the Telecom network, the U.S. Telecom network. Yeah.
No, the politicians now, like we said a year ago, when the politician's family starts getting scammed and defrauded, they're going to rise up. We said it.
Yeah.
I wish you can go to one of your AI guys and take all our podcasts and really condense all the things that we've said that ended up becoming true. Not because we're smart, because we can forecast, we see things, we know things, we hear everything from the industry. Everybody's talking to us. Well, a lot less people are talking to us for some of the people that they take it personal. Whether it's the AIT guys, which we have a different opinion on. But look, we, campaign registry, it's infested. Political messages being blocked. I went to you, Robert Gertzman. I sent you the information on an employee of yours that was blocking messages. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your politics are. What did you do with it? You did nothing. Did nothing about it.
Yeah.
Campaign registry. You got all these racist texts coming out. Where do you think they're coming from? Where's that information coming from? I'm going to tell you where. I'm going to start putting it all out because it's in there. Why did they get rid of Bill Peters and Richard Cavaro, who we haven't brought up yet?
No.
So, look, I'm going to get into Avi Katz. I'm going to get into Bill Peters. I'm going to get into more stuff because we're going to start doing this now regularly. We're going to start screaming. We're going to start getting real media guys. Oh, yeah, they're finally listening. And we're going to start getting real media that care about American Air Force majors that have landed 10,000 U.S. planes in some of the most sensitive areas, that has been a guest at inaugurations. And you guys are going to go after him. And as Alan likes to call him, what do you call him, Alan?
He's the father of the SMS in the US.
There you go.
All the way back to 2000 with basically
they torched him. They torched him. Nobody would hire him. I sent him to John Wick over at Cineverse, sent it to Cint. You're not going to hire the smartest financial mind in the history of our industry? Why? Because they framed him.
Yeah.
They framed him. And we're going to get into the frame job, and we're going to start doing a lot more about this. But this podcast, for me, is a celebration of TADSummit and the amazing work that you've done. Although I think you need to loosen up a little bit, Alan. That's just my personal opinion. I think you can't hold a couple of people responsible and blame everybody else in the organization. A lot of these companies from MEF, a lot of their people from CPAS, a lot of these people are good people. And they're all just trying to feed their families. Everybody wants to feed their families, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look, AIT is a whole nother conversation. I can't wait to get back to that with you because I'm ready to go toe to toe with you on that because, that's the mobile operators enabling it. But my point being is, Brendan Carr, come talk to us. We have all the information in the world. I just put an offer out today. I refreshed our offer for the United States Campaign Registry. Why? Because you're not selling it.
Yeah.
They're all going down tubes. There's nothing to buy. You don't have RCS. You haven't sold for $300 million. So give it to iConnective. I'll buy it and give it to them. Why? You never hear nothing coming out of them. And they're now US owned.
Yes.
Bell Labs guys, these guys are no joke over there. You never heard a peep about them anywhere, and you won't, right? They don't play.
Yep.
So look, a lot of these companies, Cineverse, underfunded, point blank. Operators know it. Everybody knows. Since there's a bunch of aggregators like Dorsey, they were hanging out with Viz, all the oligarchs, sending text messages at each other, built big companies, bought all these assets. They bought some great assets. Like I said in my big post, I think I had 11,000 impressions with, Twilio buying Bastinka, Cinch.
Oh, yes.
Because it's just a natural deal. Although Twilio won't, because they keep fiddling around with their math and their gross margins, which are just burying cogs in it. But we won't say nothing about them. Yeah. Twilio's got problems too. They don't even know it yet because their last CEO tried to buy this thing called The Onion. And then he bought The Onion. And then The Onion tried to buy this thing called Infomores with some Alex Jones guy. I don't know if you've seen that guy on Twitter. And now Elon just jumped in.
Yeah, we'll see where that all ends up.
Where it's going to end up is Elon, you're going to take a look at who owns this thing. Oh, you, Jeff Lawson? What happened over here? That $70 billion. And where'd it go? What, you were a SaaS company? There are so many things that could potentially happen here. There are so many things that Brendan Carr has to do. He regulates telecom.
Yeah.
I mean, like Czar says, how can messaging not be regulated? How is it not a communication service, right? Yeah. So, and then wait till they find out. Wait till they find out that Google wants to control all the messages. Why? Yeah. Why are they doing down?
Oh, yeah, because then they can listen to everything we say.
Listen to everything we say, right? Farm it, dissect it. So I'm a fan of what I'm hoping TNID and NOAA put something out because it's about people protecting themselves. You got to protect yourself. Yeah. We're going back to the 1700s where you got to protect yourself. You just can't be blaming everybody else. Look, it's a sewer. Don't pick up the phone. Don't check the type of heck
41% of over 65s don't pick up the phone, don't answer texts because they're worried about basically being defrauded.
I mean, so think about where we're going, but there's still a lot of people picking it up, and there's still a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, the majority are, but it's a terrible situation. At first,
they have no idea. But they have no idea. If you read the article in the New York Times, which is a really good one, they have no idea where anybody is. How they got there, they don't know. Are they going to pull out equipment? What equipment? I mean, they can hear you from light bulbs. So we're, but they're inside the ecosystem through voice and through SMS.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And there's been tremendous political interference at the campaign registry. Mm-hmm. Full stop. We've reported on it. Alan could rehash all that stuff, Brendan Carr. But we just wanted to say congratulations. And, you could be our only hope of cleaning this stuff up. And, I was listening to him talk about, creating more jobs and creating more business and the growth of telecom. But you still got to clean it up. It's just like this Doge thing that Elon's doing. Like he said, look, it may be a little difficult for a while as you're getting rid of people and cleaning things up. But we're living in a crazy world. Wars all over the place. I mean, since I never lived through anything like this. But to have your basic communications and have to be worried about being recorded or text, I mean, me and you don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, politicians care.
Yes.
National security care. Yeah. I mean, think about the extortion potential they have, even with companies or executives, and who's going to the wrong person's house for a nightcap, and just different type of blackmail opportunities.
Oh yeah,
So,
and also
and
competitive advantage because they can feed it into China Inc. And then they know the terms of the deal. They can just undercut it and win
but
deals left, right, and center.
yeah, you have this new president who screams about everything. Hasn't screamed about that yet.
Yeah.
Why? Because it hits home.
Yes. Yeah.
Mark Warner was screaming. And Mark, we sent you a letter at TCR acquisition. Rick Joyce, Frederick
Yeah.
Rick Joyce sent you one.
Yeah.
The chief of staff responded, yeah, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Siphius let every deal through.
Yeah.
Didn't care. So you have a complete, malfeasance.
Yes.
That's happened over a decade or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, just since I've been paying attention. So
yeah,
look, congratulations, Alan. TADSummit. I'm so blessed to be a part of it and all the people out there. But I'm going to ask you publicly, you got to lighten up. We got it. The only way you're going to solve a problem is to communicate with people.
Yes.
Look, I'm not happy with the guys at Meth putting that hit piece on Rick. I'm not happy with them working with their sponsors. Saying, I was on the phone with Dario. I was on with these guys, and look, they're all. It is what it is. But there's got to be a point where the industry comes together, and in the U.S., it's going to change.
Yeah, it has
it's going to change. It's going to be. It's going to because of the new administration. Everything is going to change. If you're foreign owned, you better make sure your back doors are closed because they're going to start digging because there's just new people coming. And Tata, look, I have nothing against you. Ratan Tata is one of the greatest philanthropists in history.
Yeah.
I mean, what a brand. But you guys are dogs. What you're doing over here, funding this thing and continuing the lawfare. You beat this guy. That's 2 years now we're going on. 2 years. And that's just on the wrongful termination.
Yes.
So, I don't want to hurt even some of the employees at the campaign registry, but the most of them are all foreign anyhow. And it doesn't really do anything. But obviously, there's also that new company I just sent you. So, Tata, there's a new company with some couple I connected, a Mavenir guy, Meter Lady, which is a government agency that they usually go to them to solve difficult problems.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to reach out to them. They don't want to call me. So F you guys. They're trying to create their own registry or secondary registry or whatever they're trying to do. What the hell is Google going to do? What the hell? Google, like I said, I just heard from really good sources. It's that Google put their platform for RCS up for sale because the optics are really bad for them.
Yeah.
The DOJ just hit them.
Yeah.
We're living in crazy time. But Brendan Carr, congratulations. The czar tells me you're the man. And even Rick Joyce says, look, this guy's got a lot of great ideas and he's on the other political side of it. So sometimes good ideas are just good ideas.
Exactly.
I just want Elon to somebody just tell Elon in his ear, hey, Elon, you think you can solve this spam problem? I think you can do it at lunch. Right. But they don't want it to solve, as we know.
Yeah.
There's too much money inside the grift. I mean, I talked to one of the guys. I only care about stopping fraud. Well, you're not doing it for free. You're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
They caught one guy. 100,000 people robbed the bank. We got one guy. Here he is. Let's find him.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
But
we will find him, but then we'll never collect it.
Yeah. And look, the SEC chair is stepping down.
Yes.
So a lot of this stuff's got to get investigated. But you dragged us through the mud. They're blaming me. Everything is on me with Calera and Avicat. If I didn't go in, I convinced Bill Peters to work with Avi Katz and Matt Matuli, who's now at Ericsson, I believe, and DL Piper, the lawyers, to clean up all the embargo traffic, all the illegalities on Calera. Calera's market cap was $10 million. I posted some of the stuff on my post. I mean, they halted trading, unsolicited offer. No, you guys put me under NDA.
Yeah.
You came to me to sell it after you tried to sell it to Twilio. Twilio would have bought it just to shut it down. Why? Because their whole business is making money on spam. But look, we've had the greatest. We've had Robert Viz twice. He came back. We've had Minicelli. We've had the Czar twice. I think two or three times is all.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
we've had Robert Wakeling now, like nobody even understands what that guy's up to and what he's been doing for a couple of decades, off the charts.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, the Carells and all of the Amids. And we have the finest talent, the innovators here. And I just want to tell you, congratulations, because this TAD Summit was just insane. And people are just, who are these people watching? My wife asked me, like, who are these people watching? Like, I have no idea, but it's definitely not a house lady at home that's bored, right? So either you understand what we're doing or you don't.
It's spicy as always. It's always been spicy from the
But
start.
it's but it's
People are
but it's but it's but
nervous
it's
of
but it's telecom,
being.
Alan. It's
It's
telecom.
telecom,
It's
but it's
API.
spicy telecom, and people don't necessarily want to be seen in the office, assuming they work in an office, watching such a spicy program. While when they're at home,
Our innovators are not spicy. They're informative.
oh
Look, we
yeah,
just had a clerk chat, right? Look at those guys.
absolutely. Oh yeah,
Raising
yeah.
7 million, getting 1,000, finding a workaround around the TCR. I mean,
Oh,
lights
you're
out.
using LLMs to basically, automate that, and then using
I mean,
LLMs within the platform to automate. So again, it's multiple layers of
the Paul
automation.
Sweeney, the Paul Sweeneys,
Oh
the
yeah,
Dave Hortons, all right,
yeah.
the Noah Rafalcos. I can just go on here
Oh
on
yeah.
the level of brilliance of Tad Summit. But Alan, we need to figure something out. I even asked for your friend Pulver and the other guy
Dean.
to get together. Yeah. So I mean, we need to figure out something and get some kind of work together, because look, we can lay this whole out for you, Brendan Carr. Our community, which is thousands of us, it's not just us, can lay out what's really going on. Because the companies you're talking to, they don't even know. They just want their contract for traceback or their contract for scam likely or their messaging business. It's just the same cycle.
Yeah.
But the mobile operators, what are they going to do? The whole ecosystem's been farmed out. The only
Yes.
thing they own is the SIM and the customer. That's
Yeah.
it. How much money they spend on 5G, Alan?
God.
How
Yeah.
much?
Oh, God, it's nearly a trillion now, is it? I mean,
Come on, it can't be that much.
it's ridiculous
It
volume.
can't be that much. I mean, the carrier's market cap is like 600 billion combined. I mean,
Yeah,
T-Mobile's at 275 billion
which is
market cap.
great. Yeah, massive
It-
run
it-
up.
it's all great, but at the end of the day, there's problems here.
Yes.
Why? Because now they're listening to politicians' calls. That's not going to fly. That's
Yeah.
that's that's where the dam breaks.
Yep.
And I can't even imagine what they're going to do with the new administration with this.
Well,
The whole family.
it's back to what the Tsar said. We've never had this situation where so much power concentrated in one party. So anything could happen.
But as far as the rest of the stuff, which I'm not an expert on, I don't know. But I know Telecom, we had the biggest hack in history, according to a very mild, very quiet, very smart Mark Warner comes from Telecom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, not by trading stocks,
Yeah.
like a lot of other people in Telecom. This guy
Yeah.
knows his stuff. And for him to be that scared, because they don't know, they have no idea. One guy's like, oh, it's SS7. I'm like, oh, don't even get me started on that. Thorson ended the world with SS7 at Tintec. Everything rolls back to that guy. Such a nonsensical thing. But look, congratulations, guys. Tata is an offer on the table. You're not going to sell the thing. We want to be investigated. I just want somebody to come arrest us. Investigate us. Take us in. Go through everything. You're going to see billions of dollars lost in SPACs. You're going to see all kinds of shenanigans. You're going to see crazy stuff happening at the campaign registry. And he's going after election interference.
Yes.
Whatever your politics are, don't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
But
Exactly. Election interference is election interference. Stealing from the customer is stealing from the customer. Full stop.
It's a new ball game. And guys, we got to get going because I got anybody want to buy Tintec this week? We'll get back to that next week. We're going to start going into that. But Alan, you have a great day and congratulations on, and so blessed to be a part of TAD Summit and your community and just amazing people.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
Get with Tats.